You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, This Week. Featuring news and commentary on This Week in Black Hollywood. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live This Week, Dario Kristen.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You're watching Black Hollywood Live This Week. I'm your host, Dario Kristen, and here joining me in the studio today is Courtney Stewart.
What's up, everybody?
Subbing for Jesse Janney today, who is not feeling that great, is Aaliyah Cruz. And our very special guest today, you have seen him on a lot of projects. He's got an exciting one he's going to talk about today. We got Ty Hodges with us, actor, director, superstar.
Welcome.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
Glad to have you.
Glad to be here. This is cool.
You're doing big things.
Cool vibes, yeah. Building them, you know?
That's right.
Building them.
Well, we're definitely going to get into your project and talk about more of that a little bit later in the show. But first, I want to read the buzz meter question of this week, which is, do you think it's weird for a man to take his wife's last name? We talked about that a lot last week on the
Zoe
show.
Saldana, yeah.
And what do you think about that, Ty?
I think it depends on the relationship, you know what I'm saying? Like, it depends on where people are at. There's some people that may want to do something different and try something different. And so I kind of do not have a negative opinion on it. I think it kind of switched things up. I know, you know, my dad has a daughter. I have a sister, so he would want her to keep the Hodges name going, or, you know. So, I mean, it depends. I guess it just depends on the relationship. I don't look at it. I think society's changed now that we don't have to look things so gender-driven. I think it's about people-driven, and if you're in a relationship and a partnership,
That's true.
you know, you value your names.
Yeah.
Amen.
Aaliyah?
I think it's whatever is best for you. Me, myself, personally, if I ever got married, I would definitely take a name. I'm not, no. If you want to take my name, we can't be together.
Oh,
All right.
Interesting.
Why is that? I'm curious.
I just, in my feeling towards me, I feel like it's weaker. I don't know why I feel like that. I don't mean I look at other people that way. Just for me, I want my man to be like, good look, you taking my name. And be like, okay, all right.
I hear you on that. Well, a lot of people, we were saying even last week, have made it more of a financial thing. Like, now it's starting to be, well, who makes more money, and does that affect who takes what last name and all that kind of stuff? Especially the way that just roles have shifted in households now, you know? So it's an interesting topic, but
Marriage.
you guys voted. This is what you said. 54% of you said no, and 46% of you said yes.
So it was a pretty close to
pretty
even
close.
divide, yeah.
Yeah.
Still,
Yeah.
there's some traditions still left in the country that we enjoy.
Yeah.
And we all stick with that.
Yeah.
But isn't it kind of fun that traditions are changing and we're kind of
Yeah.
creating a new atmosphere?
We're in the
and
middle
respect?
of it right
yeah,
now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's kind of cool.
It is. See what happens. But you guys voted, so I guess you're for it. All right, so this second question for today is, should South Carolina get rid of the Confederate flag once and for all? That's been a big topic of debate here on the show as well. We have a yes or no for that, so we want to know what you guys think about that, and we'll read those results next week's show. But first, we're going to start off with the trending topics with Aaliyah Cruz.
Well, first we're going to talk about Miss Tina Knowles on the cover of Ebony magazine, and looking like she's 22 years old, gorgeous as ever. Talking about falling in love and their new marriage. Wow. And look at that.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
61
I do not look that
years
good.
old.
It's outrageous.
Yes, it is
Wow.
crazy.
I mean, but let's keep it honest. I mean, that's 61 years old with a crap load of money.
Yeah.
You think she had work done?
I mean,
Even if she did.
it's good work.
Hey,
It's
she
good
looks
work.
good. I'm not hating.
Yeah,
I'm just
not
saying
mad.
that's not
There's
the
no Michael
typical
Jackson knows
61-year-old.
going on.
I mean,
She looks good.
She looks good though.
She looks really good.
No stress.
no.
stress.
I mean, look, Jay-Z's looking at that like I know what my wife's gonna look like in about
And I'm
40
not
years.
tripping.
I'm not tripping.
And I'm not
at
tripping.
all.
No, she looks wonderful.
She looks
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah.
And good for her. Found love.
That's my
and
first time seeing that.
starting
I
over.
didn't know that was out.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Out looking.
And it's funny how the
fabulous.
second photo, the way she's kind of laying on that couch, reminds me so much of Beyonce.
Yes.
Actually,
Yes.
very
Obviously.
Beyonce-esque.
Oh, and there's another picture of her in the pool or something, and she's in a bathing suit. You can't really see; it's just sort of top up, so it's not super salacious. But it was quite delightful, and I was like, "Get it, girl!"
I can't even get in a
Get it.
swimsuit, and I'm 32.
On a camera, like on a magazine, like
Yeah,
I would be
that's
like, pass, get it, girl.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you,
Period.
Mama Knowles.
And then we're going to switching dramatically.
Night and day.
In the Dominican Republic, they're doing sort of a racial cleanse, or it is what it is. It's a racial cleanse, even though that's not what it's being called. And there's citizens that do not have their paperwork from the Haitian nation, and they are being deported. Over 400,000 of them. So they needed to have their paperwork in by this Wednesday, and now that it's hit a limit, people are starting to get violent, and they're seeking out their own street justice, and it's just getting really ugly. So, how do you guys feel about this?
And Courtney, we already
Gigi's
started.
not happy about
Gigi's
it.
not happy. So
Gigi joined the
Gigi's ready for your
She's joined
response.
the panel. Yeah. I mean,
Cool.
it's a very unfortunate situation in so many ways. But I mean, I don't know all of the history of everything, so it's hard because I don't know the history of their government that well and all of that. But I do know that there's always sort of been this tension between the overwhelming Haitian immigration that has happened over since the early 20th century, I believe, is when it kind of started.
It's the first place that slavery was documented.
Exactly.
And that's the reason why slavery came to America.
So there you go. So obviously the racial issues there reach back real deep and real far. So to pretend like this is just some legal thing that we're trying to do to make our country better, no, you're trying to purge the dark-skinned Haitians and their immigrants and their offspring from the years out of your country is what you're doing. So let's just be honest about it.
It's completely unfair, and this is going to turn bigger to a riot. This is going to be a big issue.
Yeah.
So.
And it's weird too, because from an outsider looking in, doesn't anyone else see this as strange? It's just they're all black. Everybody down there is black. To me, I mean, they're saying that I've heard I've watched a Vice report and stuff, and they're saying well, we're Spanish and all this stuff, but it's the strangest thing I've ever seen.
Well. It's funny how that Eurocentric thought of what part of blackness is acceptable and what's good black versus what's bad black still affects lots of places, not just America. So it's still real and it's not gone. And just because it's 2015, we can't pretend like it's not there.
Racial divide across the countries, unfortunately.
Yeah, also too, I come from the Caribbean. My family's from Barbados and Trinidad, and so the diversity that you live in, it's definitely interesting for me to be of that heritage, but be in America as a black man, but then I have this whole culture that is so different. So I think that a lot of times when you see things like this, it's happening all over the world in different ways, and I think that when it comes down to it, we're all human, and we all kind of experience the same thing, and I think that there needs to be a revolution of people coming together and being regardless of your skin color, we have to just kind of work and become one, because you could go to Barbados, you go to Trinidad, and there's all races there, my mom's mixed up, everybody's mixed up, and it's just this pot, you know what I'm saying? But you're right, there is this class and color thing that happens all over the world.
And maybe it's just stop focusing on how bad it is, because it's depressing and it makes you feel bad and you leave feeling bad, and start thinking about okay, so it's bad, we all agree, what do we do?
Yeah, I mean, where's the change come? It's I just feel like this conversation is so repetitive, and we always have it, and it's just when you think it's changing, we go 2 to 5 steps back, and clearly across all countries and places, it's just unfortunate, and it's at what point can we just really start to get out of that thought pattern that's been haunting us forever, and just culturally it's just pathetic,
I would like to think though, for example, the whole issue in the Dominican Republic, it's not getting a whole lot of play on mainstream news in America. No. And at least from the American perspective, I did see a lot of it on social media, which is a reminder that there is some great things about social media, along with all the crazy, horrible things that it brings. It gives information in a way that we've never been able to sort of disseminate information before. And I think the idea that it's almost educational, for the people that will actually read it and learn about what's going on down there and that kind of thing, to see that it's not just in America that these are problems, that this is a bigger deal than just America, because Americans kind of like to pretend well, it's a little bit of a problem, but we're not going to think about it because America's great right now and we're doing great, and I got a job, I got a house, and I don't have to worry about it. But maybe the idea that this is a broader issue and lots of people are involved, lots of other countries are involved, is sort of an eye-opener that there is a little bit more depth to the issue than maybe we want to see just in this country. So I would like to believe that maybe just learning about the fact that it exists other places, and honestly, to the point where governments are taking action to do things that Hitler did. No offense, but that's pretty much what he was doing. So, because we like to believe that, things like what happened with Hitler, like that wouldn't happen again, and that's not happening. But that crap is kind of going on in lots of different places.
It is.
In
Just
the
in
world
a different
right now.
way.
Just in a different way. And we call it different things, but
Exactly.
it still exists. So
Still exists, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with this story.
For sure.
For sure. So, Leah, thank you. Is that all the trending topics you got this
That's
week?
all the trending topics.
That's all.
all the trending topics you may have, but we have some exciting news for you guys. So who likes to dance?
I like to
Stop
dance.
pretending. There's a whole bunch of brown folks on this stage. You know, like, you know, as soon as the beat come on, they're like,
Before the beat come on, you already moved.
I mean, there's layers to it, right? There's layers to dancing.
Yes. Well, for those of you out there that like to dance, like to spend time with your family and friends, putting together some little dance videos, we have a surprise for you. Dance Battle America is ABC's newest competition special. It's from our very own Black Hollywood Live founder and e-host, Miss Maria Menounos, and her great friend Julianne Hough, known from Dancing with the Stars. It's coming to ABC, and it's called Dance Battle America. And right now, what they're doing is they're taking submissions. And how it works is, you know how you guys get together for holidays, and you like eating your food at turkey. You know, 4th of July is coming up. You're going to be at the barbecue, hanging out with the family and the friends and whatnot. All you got to do is get yourself a little camera. We all have them on our phones.
I love that.
Record yourself doing a little dance to some song that you enjoy and find exciting. Put that junk online, because you can send an email to Dance Battle America Casting, okay? Go to dancebattleamericacasting.com. You can upload all your information and all of that and submit your video, because they are looking for people to be on the show. Yeah. So your family and your friends might be who they select to come out to LA and get on the show and do a real cool dance battle against some other folks, and y'all can win some real cool prizes.
I was going to say some nice prizes attached.
Yeah, so make sure you go to dancebattleamericacasting.com. Get your stuff on there, get your information, get your videos, do some cute moves if you need to look at some old, like, America's Best Dance Crew or something, try to bite off some moves, whatever. Do what you got to do. But sign up, guys. It'll be a lot of fun, I promise.
That's great.
We've been doing it online on Instagram for, like, the last probably 2 years. Got a lot of celebrities involved. Amber Riley joined in with her family and was posting videos on Instagram. So that could be you guys on national TV doing your dance moves.
That's
So
right.
check it out,
Well,
AmericanDanceBattle.com.
Thanks, Courtney. You making me want to go make a video.
I know, right?
I'm like,
Dance right now.
I don't even have
Dance
music,
right
and I'm
now.
already like, oh, wait, where's that video at?
Dance right now. Yes.
All right, we're going to move on to gossip with you as well,
I know,
Courtney.
back to me.
Back
and
to
some
you.
gossip, because gossip is so much fun, and there's always gossip every week. And this week, it's not any different. So first up, we had Peter Thomas of Real Housewives of Atlanta, guys. He was caught creeping. Well, sort of. He was just fondling some lady in the club. So he's in his club, bar none or bar one, whichever one it is, and he was stroking lovingly. I see Aaliyah's face. Okay, this is what he was doing. He was stroking her face. He played with her décolletage, and he was very close, whispering in her ear and doing a little too intimate moves with this young woman. And somebody caught it on their camera, posted it on social media, and made him look like a real fool. So the next day, he was already on Instagram with an apology video like, I know what it might have looked like, but I'm sorry. I apologize to my wife and my 2 daughters. It wasn't what it looked like, but I know what it looked like, so I understand. So he was apologetic immediately. And Cynthia has since responded, because everybody's been looking like, Cynthia, what do you think? Because the rumor is, okay, so basically he got outed on the Real Housewives of Atlanta this past season. Yeah. People making the comment that he's definitely been cheating on Cynthia with waitresses at his bar, and like everybody knows.
He keeps it real close.
He keeps it real close. Most of us, like I personally, I was on the Real Housewives of Atlanta panel for AfterBuzz TV. My personal belief is that they both do what they do, and they both know what each other are doing, because most people ain't stupid when they marry certain people, especially once you get married at like 40 years old. You know who you marrying. But anyway, Cynthia came out and responded by basically saying, my marriage is not perfect. We're going to deal with this issue as husband and wife. She doesn't think it's grounds for divorce, but she does think it's grounds for them to have a conversation.
And she said something, I read that it was coming on their 5-year mark.
Mm-hmm.
So
their 5th year anniversary is this year.
Yeah.
So she said, obviously we have to talk and deal with some things.
And you know, they always say when it comes to like that 5 to 6 years, that's where things start to change sometimes in the relationship.
But they've been on struggle bus, like from Jump Street. Like they barely,
that's true.
they barely made it down the aisle.
I mean, that's true.
The mama was
They
trying to
had many
hide the marriage
obstacles.
license. Like, so that's why I feel like they kind of just been in mess from jump, and that's what they know each other. They do their
The
thing.
only thing that's upsetting to me about it is like, dude, like you can don't hide it. Like I'm sorry, like hide it. Like I'm serious though, because it's one thing if you just out if you do it like in private and you don't like make a fool of me, but like he knows and everyone has cameras. I'm glad he got caught like that. He should know like you need to be a little more careful.
Well, my thing is, I don't know if it's good or bad. Clearly bad that he's keeping it so close. Some might say it's smart to keep it close, where at least you can keep it in control, where if you take it on the outside, it may not be as much control, but clearly it might not matter here because...
Well, I mean, if she seems to be fine with it, I think it's just worthy of a conversation. Like, I don't know why I should be upset. Like,
well, do you think you'd divorce somebody over that? I don't think I'd divorce over that.
Well, I mean, I think that was him getting caught in public doing something, but if he's doing that, then he's probably done something else in the past.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I have no doubt that they... Whatever. But I personally think they both do what they do and are fine with it, so...
All right.
Go out of town.
Everybody's relationship is their relationship.
No,
But then they would find him. Just don't get married.
Just don't get married.
Do
or
what
don't
you
cheat.
do,
Like Ty said,
and
don't
don't
cheat.
get married.
because the truth always
Comes out.
It comes out in one way or another.
But maybe it's not a secret.
But maybe
to
it
her.
doesn't matter to her. That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't think it's a secret to her.
If it doesn't matter to her, then it's like just hide it. Like care about me.
But if it doesn't matter to her, then why does he have to hide it? It's hard to hide it. Then you gotta lie and come up with stuff.
Why? Just go out of town and get a hotel room.
That costs money, girl. You know Peter ain't got money like that.
Oh!
I mean, he's trying to keep his restaurants and bars open, and he's always spending
He's had
her
some
money.
financial challenges.
So why are these women? No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. Why are these people together?
Hey,
She is
he must be putting it
stigmatized.
down.
That's what we've said that
Hey.
for the last 3 years. She is stigmatized. But it's happens. If they like it, I love it. All right. Okay.
Moving on.
I borderline went on strike for this next story.
Ooh.
But because I'm required by my producers at Black Hollywood Live to discuss this, I will. This week, Donald Trump announced that he's running for president. He also announced that he thought Oprah would be a great vice president with him. He thinks that he can be a businessman to bring business to the White House and run this country like a big business, like he's run the rest of his everything, because he is super successful at his life, and he thinks he could channel that very well into our government. The rumors on the street are that he did his announcement at Trump Tower in New York.
Yep.
And word on the street is he had to hire some actors for $50 each to come and cheer him on so that it looked like he had supporters, because there are about 100 to 200 people there. So everybody's like snickering, like, oh, he hired all these people to come and pretend to support him. And is it possible? Definitely. Is it likely? Probably. And he went on to he went on his first campaign stop in New Hampshire and chatted it up, and he's for real running for president again.
But what is Oprah saying?
Oprah ain't saying nothing.
Okay, and what do you guys think?
I mean, here's the thing. I interviewed Donald Trump a couple months ago, and that man is a very smart man, first of all. Like, we cannot ever take away, outside of his crazy opinions and social etiquette sometimes, we can't take away the smartness of who he is. But everything he does is strategic. Is there a new Celebrity Apprentice or something coming out?
Celebrity Apprentice is on hold because there are laws in place that if you're running for president, you cannot have like an excessive more amount of television time than other presidential candidates. So they cannot air another round of The Apprentice until he's either not in the race or whatever.
But is there anything that he's launching or promoting? Because I feel like he always...
He's doing it under the Republican
course.
Party, obviously.
Yes, he's a Republican nominee. I forgot to put that in. Of course, he's a Republican nominee.
I was thinking.
Of course, yes. So, yay.
I just feel like
I'm
he's probably
throw
going to
y'all for
promote
a loop.
something pretty
I'm
soon.
going to throw you all for a loop.
She's going to be real excited that he's running, I'm sure.
Hey!
You're excited that Donald
If he
Trump's running?
needs someone to help with this campaign, I'm on board.
Really? Why you are okay with
I'm
him?
so sick of all the presidents we've had. I'm sorry. I include Obama. I include the list of, like, I can't even think of, like, a good president. I mean, I don't even really think we should have, I think we should switch our whole government over, like, do a turnover. We need a new system in place if you really want to think
And you
differently.
think that Trump could deliver this system?
I don't know. I mean, I think that, I don't know what his system is. I don't know.
You could be arrested for that. You better calm down. You talking treason. Okay.
Clutched your pearls.
Hey, I'm for a revolution. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. Like, it's the same thing. Like when we talk about the race war, we talk about all this stuff. Like we talk about it, but not there. Where's the resolve? Like, I'm ready for change.
I
Like real
agree.
change, not just saying, "Hey, we're changing." Like real dramatic change. Not saying he can or cannot bring it, but I'm open to hear it because I'm sick of it.
Okay.
Courtney,
I just have to say this one thing.
I feel it.
Because I passionately believe in everything that you said. We need real change. We need somebody that actually cares and is also gifted and talented to pull off change in our government. We need change, for sure. Do I believe on any level that Donald Trump is the change we need in this country? I would definitely say absolutely, most certainly not. He is financially the people that we need not to be running the government, number one, because he's in the top 1%. Those are the people that are running everything right now, and that's why the other 99% are struggling also, because there's not enough voice from that group of people. He has made it very clear with calling the Mexicans rapists and building the Great Wall of let's get rid of Mexico. Like, I don't believe that in terms of moving us in a direction of social positivity and embracing of the people that are here and figuring out what we need to do with the people that are actually here that may not be here legally but have been here their whole lives and all of that. He literally will pull off that Dominican Republic nonsense and be like, you ain't got your papers by Tuesday. Bye, y'all.
He would do that.
We're deporting you.
But you know what? I don't.
And you might be fine with that because some people believe that, you know, these people that have been here, they don't deserve to be here because they came here illegally, so they should be sent back. I cannot prescribe to that because there are whole communities of young people that can do amazing things in this country and had, through no fault of their own, are here, whether we like it or not. And to send them back, that's another whole conversation.
Well, people being born here is different too, though.
Well, people being born here and people that were brought across the border. If you're brought across the border at 3 years old, you're now 30 years old and you have a family here and you've been working here and paying money, and I'm for, you know, pay your taxes and do whatever. But if you're doing all that and I'm telling you now somehow I'm not going to give you a path to citizenship because somehow I'm better than you because I took your land to begin with.
I'm fine with the path to citizenship if you're going to follow that and you're going to follow the rules and stuff. But if you're not going to follow the rules, and I have no problem saying deuces, or people who don't respect our country or don't like our country, then don't be here.
I mean,
like I do agree that there should be a path. I'm not like for that, and I'm definitely not for any violence. Like in the Dominican right now, there's violence against the Haitians. Like they're taking it to like a whole nother. I don't think that that's ever acceptable. Like, no.
Somebody asking for Obama's birth
I'm not a
certificate
sympathizer for that.
What I was going to say, I mean, here's the thing, like I was trying to get to before, is that he's a very smart businessman, but as far as running this country, I would be terrorized a little bit of him running this country.
Terrified.
I'd be terrified. Like, yeah, terrorized and terrified. I just
Listen, I'm just open to see what he has to say. That's all I'm saying.
Swim with the
New
whales.
Zealand. I'm a move
New
to
Zealand.
We need something different.
I don't think Ty would be voting for him.
I'm over Democrat Republican. I wish Ron Paul wasn't as old as he is. That's what I really wish.
Yeah, you know, the fun thing too is he's having fun. He's wealthy. Like the thing is, I don't know if he really believes he's gonna
That's
win.
what I'm saying. Everything's a publicity stunt half the
Does
time.
that bother you?
No.
Does that bother you guys at all? Like the idea that because I get it. He got his own money and he's running his own campaign. Like, and I guess anybody can do that. It's America. That's what we do. But at the same time, with everything that's going on in this country right now and what we need to happen, do we really need your effery? Like, just for shits and giggles? Like, can you not find somebody who really has some great strength of thought and process and support them and help elevate them? Because the biggest problem we have is campaign finance. Nobody can freaking run that is not a millionaire.
Well, that's true.
So if you're a multi-millionaire that has instead of like, oh, I just want my camera time and to make a joke about this shit, go support somebody that really is in it and been grinding on it and knows some shit and can do something.
No, now that I agree with, because we need somebody that's different.
Then I will be totally fascinated to watch you as their press person or chatting it up about how much you love them or whatever. But like, don't just do it to bullshit because ain't nobody got time for that. People are dying.
I love her passion.
Yeah, her passion.
I love your passion.
You're not playing right now.
Me because
I can't even say anything. I'm
Right. I'm like, you said everything for all of us on the panel.
We have right now.
She fanning herself.
Who's good right now?
Who's good that's actually running right now? I'm not saying that exists, but the point is
Exactly.
but we don't have any method for going about. There's people that are community organizers all around this country that could be great candidates for office.
Yes.
I'm not saying for the office of president per se, but I'm just saying that could be elevated if somebody with that kind of power and that kind of money got behind them.
That's a better idea.
I just feel like, can we please like not waste time right now? People getting shot in churches and children dying on the street and freaking cops arresting girls on damn concrete with their face down, and we're worried about laughing at Donald Trump.
But with or
Hence
without
probably
him,
why
we have
Oprah didn't make a statement.
no. With or without him, though, we have nobody to choose from. With or without him, we have nobody to choose from.
Yeah, but I think that it also goes in with like us impacting like a culture and having a movement. And I think that no matter rules or regulations or laws, I think that we need an environment or a space where people are being enlightened and being open and being their own vessel to operate in a place of love and support and look at these issues that we dealt with in the past, from like racism and financial issues, and really just come together as a community, come together as a world, as a nation. And I may sound like too kumbaya, but I believe that if we start changing our environments, then they have, president, government, anything, any corporation, they have to start adapting. Just like in California is one of the most healthiest places ever. They're adapting. Everyone wants to juice now. Everyone wants to do all these things. So I feel like if we just continue to stand up and have these conversations and bring up these topics like you are, and not picking what's wrong with it and saying, okay, well, we have to implement the change. We have to do the change, and on a daily basis, it's work.
Well, see, but that part is actually what makes me nervous, because I would agree with you there, but my only problem with that is that we still are dealing with stuff that we shouldn't be dealing with today. Like, we're going to be talking about a gun shooting in Charleston, South Carolina, which is a racial incident. So if we all are supposed to come together and create this great creation that will change the government, we need to start with these people and just these small-minded people that are still existing and still breeding other kids and people to think like this.
What would you do to change that?
I mean, I wish I had the secret formula to that.
The secret formula that is to change yourself. The secret formula is to see the world perfect exactly the way it is.
Yeah, but I'm different. I'm not like that. So I know most people I know don't think like that. But there's still those people across the country and in other states that still have that same philosophy of just these different things. So I feel like, this is 2015, and yeah, I agree with you, Courtney. Like, we have other things to concentrate on, but it's 2015, and we're still dealing with the same stuff, just in a different time period.
But it's our youth. But the thing is, our youth have an opportunity. The millennials, and me being, we're both leading the millennial pack, I guess. We have to. It's our young people. It's the generations after us. To whereas, like, we really have to kind of shake them up, because they're having the internet, the social media, like all these things. They're kind of like, they don't really know the foundation of love or foundation of spirituality or faith or anything. So what happens in the church, when I hear these things, I get so upset and frustrated. I'm like, did they put this kid on medication? Did his family tell him they didn't love him? Like, what in his mind that he thinks that he could do something so, like, it's just not right. It's not human. And I feel that we really have to, it starts with our young people, shifting them, because as we get older and have a voice, these young people are going to grow older. And right now, the music they're listening to and all these things is just it's a lower frequency. So I really feel like we have to kind of shake them up and start having them, be the influencers,
Which maybe will hopefully change
That's
the government.
That's why we need a revolution, and you should head it up, Courtney.
I'm saying, you don't believe.
You want to take to the streets with me?
Clearly, Courtney doesn't want Donald Trump to head it up.
I'm taking my dog.
Aside from Donald Trump,
She's fanning it. I'm getting nervous every time you fan yourself. Like, I hope I didn't offend you.
She's excited to talk about Podcast One.
Because that's what you have to do. That's what it needs to happen. It needs to be a revolution, because we're sick of everything. We're sick of the politics. We're sick of the race wars. We're sick of everything.
And
we're sick of absolutely everything. And we can't complain unless we're willing to get together and have a movement of just pure love and say, look, this is the revolution. The revolution is love. Yeah. It's that simple. Yeah. But people say, oh, well, how do you do that? I don't know, but let's figure it out.
And the thing is, you don't give into things. Like, honestly, I think racism is funny and it's dated. I don't give energy to it, because it's all these things, but I really feel like you just got to set a foundation of, like, this is how we're going to go. Like, this is how we're, create those boundaries. Because people could be disrespectful, but what are you going to do? Be disrespectful back? Or you're going to just say, yo, and I had an incident the other day, and I was just like, I knew it could have gone somewhere, and I was just like, brother, yo. And I had the humility made everything all right. Right. Because honestly, if I would have gave my ego back to him, it would have been a mess, and it would have been a ruined night. And I've been trying to exercise these ways on being like, no matter, okay, I'm taking this a little personal, let me step back and let me really just kind of like try to find where we can just meet. And even if we disagree, it's like, because I feel like we don't have to live in the chaos, we don't have to live in the confrontation, and we don't have to live in like this idea of like, it's you and it's me, and this is our, it's like.
You meditate.
Yeah. No. How you know?
Or you fan yourself like Courtney.
Yeah.
Courtney,
you fan yourself.
She
ain't feeling nothing. I'm saying. She's like, no.
No. See, I don't want that to be communicated. It's not that I'm not feeling what you're saying at all. And I'm a full, like I said, girl, that's why I'm going to go home and pray like I always do, because that's what keeps me centered. But I am not, I'm trying to figure out the best way to articulate this so y'all don't come for me on YouTube. I would say that there's theory and there's practice. Theoretically, amazing. Absolutely. The movement is supposed to be about love. To me, God is love, Jesus is love, and if we just operated in that space, then that would be how we exist. But I believe that we live in the world, and I believe that the world is something else. And you have to figure out how you operate in the world as a person of love and still affect change. And I don't think that it can only be, I'm just going to start with myself. Because the bottom line is, yes, you start with yourself, you do everything you can with yourself, and you be the best you can be. And obviously that's going to sort of fan out and express into your community, and hopefully more people are doing that, and the more people that do it, community-wise it builds. So I do have a belief that if we build our communities in that way, that the higher ups eventually will have to follow suit.
It goes completely just like that.
However, I do recognize in the world that we live in that there is a power structure that exists, and that power structure has been able to maintain for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. I don't exactly know how, because I always wonder, I just be like, how in the hell did like slave masters like pull this off like for all this time, and didn't nobody like pull on that? And it's a weird thing about human nature and really trying to figure out how to change human nature that I think is obviously like the way we would get to love with everybody. But to pretend like that human nature doesn't exist and try to operate only in your space is a weird sort of, I don't necessarily think that that's going to really do very much, because things still continue to move, and they continue to move how they're going to move. And if you don't figure out how to work within the power structure that already exists, how are you over here saying that that's going to change that over there? Because it hasn't.
Because when you change, then people around you say, what's going on with you? How do I be like you?
But that's the people around you.
Yes,
the bottom
and
line,
then
there's
people
still
around
a
them,
system.
and there's people around them, and
hate,
it flows.
Evil has existed, and in my opinion, will always exist.
Light brings dark.
It will always exist.
So
That's a balance.
I think it's kind of, and it's one of those like endless questions. Like,
yeah, I was
obviously
gonna say
you
we could talk
like,
about this for years and years, and hopefully it'll change with the people.
And I
wasn't
saying it has to just stay with me, because I'm not saying I'm a monk sitting there looking at people like I'm saying
reaches
that
out to people.
I'm saying that's why I'm an artist, you know, like that's why I create. I don't write and direct or act or all these things for like the idea ego of it. I do it because this is my contribution to say, hey, look, these are characters, these are human beings. We're not in this alone. And so I get what you're saying. But because that's not the right way either. I think that we have to. And look, this is what you guys do this for: is to give people a platform,
give a voice,
to just
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well,
keep talking about it.
Listen, keep the conversation going, and you can tweet us, and you can also, let us know what you're thinking on our social media sites, because this conversation, honestly, we could talk about this forever. But we want to know what you guys have to say as well, and hear your opinions. So we're going to move on to.
But we want to know what they're saying also in a survey.
Yes.
So. Those of you guys out there listening to us and watching us, please, please, please go make your way over to podcast1.com. We got a little short 3-minute survey over there. We're just trying to get some information on like how the shows are doing, what we're doing that you like, what you don't like, and what you think is awesome and what you think is whack. And, we'll do what we do, but it will influence what we're doing. And so we want to give the best content we can to our viewers. So you guys check us out over at podcast1.com. It's only 3 minutes. Let us know how you really feel about the shows. Be honest, be expressive. Let us know, because we appreciate it and we need your help. So check us out, podcast1.com. Take that survey, 3 minutes of your life. I know you're sitting at work, not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Right. You can just click right over because you're listening to us anyway, and just do the podcast survey, and it's great. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Courtney. That was
very
well
welcome.
delivered.
Had to toss that in there because we don't forget that.
That's right. All right, well, we're going to move now on to our final topics of the day, our EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
Well, it's funny you were mentioning acting and directing and, those type of things, because I think performances, because I think this person who's been in the news over a week right now will probably, have a movie or some type of television show about her soon, and I'm wondering about her acting skills. Right? Yeah, she might deserve some Oscars. We're of course talking about Rachel Dolezal, who has been in the news for the past week. Of course, we started off talking about her in reference to working at the NAACP, which she was posing as an African American woman, which we later found out she was not a African American woman, but yet a Caucasian woman. Well, she has been making the news all around since that story broke by her parents, who actually publicly outed her in that way. She has been meeting with Matt Lauer this week. She's been talking about Caitlyn Jenner. She actually proclaimed that she's also bisexual. Transracial. Bisexual. Well, she resigned from the NAACP, and now she also has been let go off of her responsibilities at the Spokane Commission, which is giving an investigation about her and 3 other commissioners in reference to acting inappropriately with some of the employees. Now, Rachel was she chaired the volunteer commission, which provides citizens oversight of the police department. So she's been really active. I mean, from the beginning, whatever we've been reading about her and seeing about her, she was very heavily in NAACP and allegedly trying to make some changes throughout the community. Well, under this investigation, some of the inappropriate things that she's being accused of is workplace harassment, having a negative work environment, improper government actions, and they're all unrelated to her race accusations that were, separately through the NAACP. But she also has been very heavily talking about her employees and how she was doing all these great things, and then now all these things are starting to come out, so they're really taking a microscope to her to figure out what's true and what's not true. She also has made the news this week as well because her brother Joshua has been under investigation for allegedly possibly sexually abusing a young African-American minor, a young boy. So she's got a lot going on in her news, and she also has said, I think recently this week, that she wanted to have a blood test done or a DNA test because she's not sure that her parents are actually her parents. Which, hey, maybe they're not.
She was not born in a hospital.
Right, she was not born in a hospital, but I just feel like things keep going on and on and on about her. So are you guys tired of hearing about her in the news already? I mean, what are your thoughts on this woman? Because I'm starting to think she's certified cray a little bit.
You think she's cray?
I think she's a little cray. I think there's something loose inside those curls at the top.
I just honestly try not to judge things. I'm more inspired by it from characters. I think that it's just so amazing how people are really just I don't know. I can't even.
Dedicated? How about dedication? Did you see some of her hairdos? I mean, she grew up with long, straight blonde hair. If you could just wake up and roll out of bed in the morning. She sat there for micro braids. She sat there for micro braids. I was like, girl, you are dedicated.
The curly hair.
She did African American.
She's dedicated to her black girl look. She's riding the black girl look strong.
Seriously, though, I was like, well, if you want to do all that.
Rachel wanted to be a sister real bad.
But then, so the thing is, you say, is the world racist? Is it? You know what I'm saying?
Listen. Here's my biggest problem with it. I'm not upset the fact that she embraced black culture. I mean, listen, we all embrace the culture that we're surrounded around or that we want to embrace. The fact that she lied about it is the scary part to me. I mean, she could have been a white woman in NAACP. NAACP has said that they have never had a problem with her being a Caucasian woman doing duties in the NAACP. It was the fact that she lied about being an African American woman that this is such a big deal.
She's a smart woman. She graduated Howard. She teaches African American studies. She's very dedicated. So I'm
she's an artist.
At the end of the day, she's obviously smart. So we can't say she's just crazy. No. She's obviously smart.
I don't know.
Crazy is a big word. Crazy is a big word you put on something that you don't know. I would say that she has emotional. Everything I say, Courtney's just had it with me today. The thing is, she obviously has emotional problems. Did you see the interview with her parents? Yeah. They were very sweet people. They were like, we love her. We don't know. We don't understand what's going on with her. Clearly, she has an emotional problem. When you need to go and find another race because you don't fit in your own, obviously, there is some part of you that doesn't feel loved and doesn't feel accepted. And in that, she's trying to figure it out. She's so confused emotionally. So maybe she has problems with herself emotionally. But crazy, I feel like when you call somebody crazy, it's just a way of you don't know what's going on with them. She's not stupid by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, I never thought she was stupid, but I do think that she's crazy. I'm about to give her a certified pretty soon.
Something's wrong, but I bet you that therapist could go in and tell you exactly what is wrong with her, and it wouldn't be crazy.
Yeah.
It would be something different.
That's probably true, but... I just feel like every day is something new with her. It's
but you know what? If Bruce Jenner wants to be a woman, what's the difference?
Bruce Jenner's not posing. Was never posing as a woman while he was a man.
But there's lots of people that still have their members intact that are dressed like women and go out like women and behave as women and change their names to women. Is that wrong?
It's wrong if they are lying to someone. Yeah, it's wrong. Theoretically, yes, it's wrong. If you are not telling the truth about something about yourself and people think that you're something else. If I think that you're a woman and you are
But if I've had the surgery now and I'm changed now.
Man, I'd have to think about that. I don't know.
So I mean, I'm having a tough time understanding. Courtney and you obviously have so many opinions about it. But I'm just asking the question.
I think it's
I'm
different
not saying
from race.
What's right or wrong. I'm saying I don't know.
I think it's
and
different
I
from
want
race.
to know what is it? Sexuality is different. Your sex of your physical, but you're born what you're born.
Posing as an African American woman in an NAACP environment, to me, and not identifying with being a woman at all, or a white woman at all, is, I think that I have a problem with that. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, maybe in 20 years, people will be like, "That's the most ignorant thing I've ever heard."
Maybe, but I just think it's
you don't know. We don't know.
It's lying. She's deceiving. So I don't know.
But she's lying to herself. So something is wrong.
She's not just lying to herself. She's lying to everybody. She posed as this person.
But obviously
People thought she was black.
Something is off. I'm not gonna say crazy, but something is off to make you say to everybody that you're something you're not.
Yes, off. Very off.
So I'm saying.
Still goes back to a little crazy to me.
What, Courtney? What?
Like, I can't give any more voice to this than I already have. Like, this woman, like, whatever she did for the NAACP, like, now they're coming back and saying there's all these problems. Whatever she did initially, they said she was doing a good job at her job. So thank you. I appreciate you for doing that. I'm confused as hell as to why you felt the need to lie about who you are. Like, and it's fine, like, that you decided to do that. If anything, the person that should be pissed off is her mom and her daddy. But, I mean, for me, the issue... I kind of side with Daryl on this one. I think it's crazy. I think she may be smart, but intelligence does not indicate whether or not you're crazy.
Mass murderers are smart, one of the smartest people in the world.
So I think you're diabolical. I think there is some serious issue with what you did, and the idea that you are also raising black sons, I think all of that means things that you can say you identify with, because that's your full individual right in this country to be and speak and live whoever you would like to be. So I'm not coming for you. I'm just saying.
I'm not coming for you.
I'm not coming for you at all. I just think it's real strange and real special, and I agree. I think she definitely has some emotional problems.
I don't want to break her down because it's something that's wrong. Something that's so wrong that you'd feel that.
There's something.
I'd have to find out what it is.
I will just say this one other thing.
Right now she's crazy. She even got a little cray in her eye.
She's crazy.
The little twinkle right there, look a little cray.
She looks like she would like snap. But there is a certain level of white privilege that exists in what she's doing, and the idea that she can't even cop to that, because you are a white woman, blue-eyed in America, and you can decide you want to be a black woman and pass and go and do your thing. The average black woman, brown-eyed, cannot decide she wants to be a white woman and live in the privilege of a white woman for the rest of her life.
She can wear contacts and bleach her skin.
A bleached-skinned black woman is still not a white woman. So there's still a difference. There's a level of privilege that she's not acknowledged. Like, if she says straight up, like, yeah, I'm white, and I decided I want to be black because I like it, and I identify with these people, and that's who I am.
I could accept
I'm
that.
Like, cool.
I could get with that. I could completely get with that.
Do you? But the deception
to have a friend posing pictures and act like that's your dad, that's crazy to me.
That extends way beyond. And what are you teaching your kids? Lord, who...
Listen,
I feel sad for her.
New Zealand.
She's another one. We could talk about her forever because we're going to have to move on because we got to wrap soon. But last story of the day, which has made the headlines, a very unfortunate incident, tragedy struck in Emmanuel African Methodist Church, which is located in Charleston, South Carolina, when a young gunman, Dylan Roof, 21 years old, went into the church. Not only did he go into church and shoot 9 people because he wanted to start a race war among African Americans and Caucasians, he also sat in the Bible study for an hour prior to, so the people in the church actually thought that he was there to pray and just kind of get some spiritual guidance, and then he got up and shot 9 people. He let 1 person live, 9 died, 1 person's living, and he let her live because he told her he wanted her to tell the story. And this has opened up another just dynamic of just the conversation that Obama originally started about gun control and really getting this under wraps. This story is just is heartbreaking. You know, it's just it's sad to me. I don't know what we can really do about this at this stage, but I'm with Obama with this on. We need to do something needs to start changing, because the fact that he can just go in there and they say he bought his gun a couple weeks ago when he turned 21. It shouldn't be this easy, you know. And now all these lives are lost.
That kid's 21.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's on a bond of $1 million. He also was previously charged with a felony for drug possession, so he had prescription drugs on him.
So how about we up the mental health care in this city and not worry about gun control, because that's not the problem. And then how about we stop putting these low vibrational stuff out on the news and advertising it and getting kids to think they want to be so important. Again, it's a matter of importance. I feel like children who do this because they're not loved so much that they just want to be seen in any way possible. Not saying it's right. I mean, it's not. There's nothing right about it. But it's not changing the root of the problem.
Yeah, I don't even know. They haven't really given a lot of information about him individually as of yet. But my thing is, as far as like his home life, but I know that my thing is with him, like that has to be also taught in the house. I feel like there was something, he grew up in this environment of
Maybe
hating.
he just didn't get the love that he needed. He saw on the news that there's a race war, and he's like, I'm going to make my mark.
I mean, you know, listen, it goes back to my word crazy. People are crazy and they do crazy things, and that could be part of it. But it's just, you know, with this stuff with the guns, and obviously the race relations is just getting heavy, and the fact that he wanted to start a race war is just, we got to put an end to it.
Our government wants to start a race war, if you ask me.
Yeah. Well, that was our Courtney. Go ahead. You want to make one little quick
She
statement?
could tell me what she could do.
I'm just hot and I'm gonna pray.
Hot and pray. That needs to be a T-shirt right there. Hot and pray.
Hot and I'm gonna pray.
I'm just hot and I'm gonna pray. That is awesome.
What do you do? But listen,
What do you do?
We got to wrap up, but we want to talk really quickly to Ty Hodges, because he's here talking to us about his new film, which is Charlie, Trevor, and a Girl Savannah. Man, I saw that trailer and I was intensely on my toes the whole time. Like, what is about to happen next? Little action thriller going on. Yeah. So I know you not only star in it, but you also directed it. Yeah. So that seems like a super difficult hat for me to think about, that you have to do both. I mean, how did that work out for you?
I think it just kind of how I've been designed. You know, I grew up in theater when I was a young kid in Miami, and then I came out here into business, and I guess I did a Janet Jackson video as a kid, and called Go Deep, and that was like how I got into the mainstream business. And I've realized, like, when I was on set growing up on Disney Channel, stuff like that, I would always be outside watching the director, and because growing up in theater, you got to do your own wardrobe, you know, you do everything. So it's kind of like, it's so natural. Yeah. I feel like I'm at my highest frequency of I'm so clear being a part of all of the different things. And it's good to connect, and like, so. And
so give us a little bit about the plot. So
the plot? Okay, yeah, Charlie, Trevor, and Girl Savannah is basically, it's a story like about a kid that kind of is kind of abusive to himself and his others, and he falls in love with this girl that kind of had a ruined life, and he's conflicted. He has a bad dream that she gets killed, and so he kind of dives into his dream and back and forth into reality, and so the whole plot is, what is reality? What is perception? What is our idea of love? What does it mean to like be connected and love someone when they're not there anymore? Man,
well, when does it come out?
It comes out today. Today's our premiere.
Awesome.
Yes, and it'll be playing for a week at Arena Cinemas, and then it plays in New York, Atlanta, D.C., Miami, Boston, New Jersey.
And then on social media, if people want to follow the film or find out more about it, where they can find it, what's your social media
It's
handles?
Mr. Ty Hodges on Instagram and the Ty Hodges on Twitter. And they could follow our social media. We're just now growing it up. We're doing this campaign, but it's Charlie, Trevor, and a Girl Savannah, ctsthemovie.com.
Well, check it out, because I saw the trailer, like I said.
And you guys are more than welcome to come this week if it's playing. Just let me know. I'll get you a ticket.
Well, we got to check it out. You guys should go support it as well. Courtney, where can your fans find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, and maybe on an island praying to Jesus.
Not in the Dominican Republic.
Not in the Dominican Republic. I'm probably too dark. That's Stuart Starlet.
Aaliyah, where can they find you?
All my social media is the same, at Aaliyah Cruz, ALIAKRUZ.
You can find me at Dario Kristen on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you guys for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live this week.
Thank you guys.
Check out Charlie, Trevor, and a Girl Savannah opening today.
Yes.
Find out where it is. Support Ty. He's in it. He's killing it. And I mean, he's doing two jobs. You know what I mean? So you got to support a brother doing two jobs in one film.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.